শুধু দর্শক মন্ডলী, এখন আপনাদের কানে আসতেছে স্টোইক ডিসের গান। তো তাড়াতাড়ি আপনাদের টুইন ওয়ানের ভলিউম অন করেন যাতে ফাইটটা যাইতাম হয়ে যায়। Yeah, Magic by Kazi and Mana, bring it to you live from New York City. Double on the beat, man. Yeah.
Damn boy, you're so fine. Need to make you mine. Just don't cross the line. Meet me at the club tonight. The girl I can be. You don't have to love me, but to touch my body, you gotta truly love me.
তোমায় মায়াবী চোখে যেন দেখে যায় ওই নীলাভার প্রান্ত গোধূলি বেলা বুঝে নীলিমায় ওই স্তব্ধতা যেন ঢেকে যায় নীল সেই ইমেল হাওয়ায় কেন যে যাওয়ার যোজনা অন্ধকার সাথে চাঁদতারা সেই রাত সাথে যে আমার মনেরই সব ভাবনা ভেঙে তোমাকে খুঁজে যায় আমি বারে বার ফিরে এসো তবে ঘোর ভাঙা
রাতেরই আধারে ফুলেরই বাগানে ভেসে আসে তোমার ছবি। একাকী বিরহের মধুরী আবেগে ভাঙায় হৃদয়ে একা আমি। মিলিয়ে সব সুখ ছিনে নেব বেদনা, শুধু এসে দেখো নাই লীলা খেলা। চোখ দুটো নাচিয়ে কোমরটা ঝাঁকিয়ে আসো রাতের আড়ালে করো না অবহেলা।
ভেবে যেন এই তোমাকে আমার মনেতে কত অসহায় তবু একা দূরে দেখে যায় এসো না তুমি ভেবে যাও এই ঘর অন্ধকার শুধু লাল আভা ধীরে ধীরে যেন কাছে
Assalamualaikum. Welcome to my presentation. I am Shahid Islam Shubho. My ID number is 171352083. Is my ID number. So I am talking about a function, and my topic is about a bijective function. So I am telling about topic. For bijective function, it will be both proved one-to-one and one-to function. That means one-to-one means one-to-one means every element of domain indicates different value of codomain. That means if A indicates 1, B indicates 2, C indicates 3, that means the domain indicates different value of codomain. So it is a one-to-one function. Now we want to give example of onto function or surjection. That means for onto or surjection function, it will be the codomain value is the image of domain value. So both are image of domain value. So it is a onto function. So now we give examples of which will be the bisection function from these 4 examples. So now I want to give example. So first example is f of x equals 7/3 x plus 2. So if we think x equal 1, f of x will be 7/3 plus 2. That means now if we think x equal to 2, f of x equal 7/3 into 2 plus 2. So And if we think also f of x, x equal 3, f of x will be f of x will be 9. So now we can take a map for x equal 1, x equal 2, and x equal 3. One indicates 13 over 3. So 13 over 3. 2 indicates 20 over 3. 20 over 3. 3 indicates 9. So 1 indicates 13 over 3, 2 indicates 20 over 3, 3 indicates 9. So the domain value gives the different value of codomain. So we can and also say that the codomain value is the image of different value of domain. So it can be called a bijective function. Second example, f of x equal x to the power 4. So we'll have to prove that it is a bijective or not. It is a bijective or not. So if we think x equal to 2, f of x will be to the power 4 equals 16. If we also think if x equal minus 2, f of x will be also 16. But it cannot be a bijective because it cannot be a one-to-one function, because in one-to-one function the domain value gives the different value of codomain, but we see that 2 and minus 2 give the same value for codomain value. So it cannot be a one-to-one function. Here it is. We see that the domain value gives the same. The domain value gives the codomain value. Sorry, 2 and minus 2 give the same value. So it cannot be a one-to-one function. As it will not be a one-to-one function, that will not be a bijective function. So it is not a bijective function. Is f of x equals 3x squared plus 7. So we have to prove that it is a bijective or not. If we think x equal 1, then f of x will be 10. If we also think that x equal minus 1, then f of x will be also the same value, because so 1 and minus 1 gives the same codomain value. So it cannot be also be a one-to-one function. As it will not be a one-to-one function, it cannot be also a bijective function. So we see in map for x equal 1 and x equal minus 1, the codomain value is 10. So it cannot be a bijective function. The last example, that is f of x equal x to the power 5 plus 1 divided by x square plus 3. So if we think x equal 1, then f of x will be 2 over 4. That means 1 over 2. And if you also think x equal to 2, then f of x will be 33 over 7. So here we can see in map one indicates 1 over 2 and 2 indicates 33 over 7. So in one-to-one function, the domain value always gives the different codomain value, and in onto function, the codomain value is the image of domain value. So it is a bijective function. So it is bijective. Thank you everyone. This is end of my presentation.
মানুষ হরতাল মিছিল মিটিং অবরোধ না দেখতে চায় যেন রাজনীতির মাঠে হয় সবাই ভাই ভাই সন্ত্রাসীদের অস্ত্র যদি হইতো গোলাপ ফুল আর দুর্নীতিবাজ বুঝতো যদি তাদের মস্ত ভুল গণতন্ত্র চেয়ে চিল্লাই দেখো ওই যে হায়দার ভাই মেহেরিনের গণতন্ত্র দেখায় ওই না চ্যানেল আয়
গণতন্ত্রের চেহারাটা কেমন বাবু ভাই
ঘোড়ার আন্ডার মতো দেখতে কাজও দেখিস নাই 2 মাসে 2 সরকার আইলো আবার জিগায় প্রশাসনের রদবদল আবার জিগায় আজিজ ভাই চইলা গেল আবার জিগায় বিচার বিভাগ পৃথক হইলো আবার জিগায়
My current topic, but question let f be the function from a to a 1 2 3 4 where function of a equal 4, f of b equal 2, f of c equal 1, f of d equal 3. For bijection function, every element of domain indicates different values. Now, A is equal to 4. B integrates 2. C integrates 1. And D integrates 3. And every document values of the image of domain 1 to 1. Thank you.
জানিস তুই বড় ড্রামা এক্সট্রিম রোমান্স কেন হাঙ্গামা প্রেমে ফিভারে কাজ পুরা বডি রে এই প্রেমে মেডিসিন কোনটা
টেনশন ফ্র্যাকশন রিঅ্যাকশন অ্যাকশন
My name is Shahrukh Islam. My ID on 713540. Today my introduction topic is composite function. This is diagram of composite function. A is the function, B is the function, C is the function. Once we import the value of A, the function of g of x will be g of A. And the input of g of A will be input of function of x. Then function of g of x will be function of g of A. Let's see the example. Example is function x equal 3x square plus 2, g of x equal to 2x plus 2. Height, short and broad. At first, we find for means function of g of x. Function of g of x. Function g of x value 2x plus 2. We I x plus 2. Then function of x value equal 3x square plus 2. 3 4x plus 2 square plus 4. Let's take calculation. 3 x square plus 2 I 2x plus 2 4x. Plus 2 square plus 3 x square whole square equal 4x square plus 2 into x into 2 equal 8x plus 6 square equals 4 plus 4. Then 3 into 4x square plus 8x plus 4. So 3 into 4x square equal 12x square plus 3 into 8x 24x plus 3 into 4 12 plus 2. 12x square plus 24x plus 12 plus 2 equals 40. We see how to find for function of equal to function of the x value 12x square plus 24x plus 40. Now we find how to find both. What means both equal 0 function x. Function x value 3x square plus 4. 3 equal 0 function x value 3x square plus 2 3x square plus 0 x. That means x. So here x 2x plus 4. 2x value 3x square plus 2 plus 2. 2 into 3x square plus 2 plus 2. 2 into 3x square 6x square plus 2 into 2 4 plus 2 6x square plus 4 plus 2 equals 6. So we start. So the function of x value 6 square plus 6. Our presentation is finished. Thank you.
এই তুমি কি দেখতেছো? তুমি ওই মেয়েটার দিকে তাকাচ্ছিলে না?
Doi fusca,
তো ভালো না
doi fusca,
আর খাবো না
doi fusca.
তুমি বেশরম তোমার নজর ভালো না
বাজার যাই, চম্পায় আমার জানের জান, ফুচকা খাইবো তাই। ফুচকা বাটি হাতে নিয়া চম্পাক পিছতে চাই, সেই একটা সাচাক্কা বৈশা আছে তাই। চম্পাক চোখে ফাঁকি দিয়া মুষ্টি মুষ্টি চাই, এই মাইয়া একটা সেই পিস চম্পা হইছে ছাই। এই সিন দেখা চম্পায় উষ্টা দিছে তাই, এখন থেকে মাটিতে চায় দই ফুচকা খাই।
আমি যে শুনে বেড়াই, তুমি তো সেই তুমি নয়।
My presentation to be is function. Example: why is f not a function from R to R? 1. Fx equal to 1 by x. B. Fx equal to root over x. C. Fx equal to plus minus root over x square plus 1. F. Fx x fx 1 2 3 5 6 7 1 5 2 6 3 7 a number fx equal to 1 by x f equal to x এর মান হতে আমরা 0 equal to 1 by 0 f equal to 0 equal to 1 by 0 into B number fx equal to root over x fx to minus 4 equal to root over minus 4 it is not a function. It is not a function. C number fx equal to plus minus root over x square plus 1 equal to fx equal to plus minus root over 2 square plus 1 equal to plus minus root over 5 1 input equal to 2 output it is not a function. My presentation is finished.
বন্ধুরে কাছে আসো, বন্ধুরে ভালোবাসো, don't be scared, আমি আছি, I'm gonna play that প্রেমের বাঁশি। বন্ধুরে কাছে আসো, বন্ধুরে ভালোবাসো, don't be scared, আমি আছি, I'm gonna play that প্রেমের বাঁশি।
This is my ID. My presentation topic is function, and I want to discuss about inverse function. This is my presentation topic, inverse function. We all know that inverse function has one domain value has difference one value has difference codon value. In order to prove inverse function, we need to prove that this function will be a one-to-one function or inversion function. Let's see an example. Here's ABC is domain value, and 1, 2, 3 is codomain value. Domain and A indicates 2 indicates 2, B indicates 1, and C indicates 3. Here we can see that all domain value gives different codomain value. So it is a one-to-one function. And the inverse of the function, inverse function of this function is inverse of the function. This is a function, and the inverse function is a function, and it is the inverse of this function. Now I am solving this question. The question is, let f be the function from ABC to 100, 200, 300, such that f equals 200, f equals 300, f equals 100. If f is invertible, and if this is, what is it? First, we need to check that this function is one-to-one, because we all know that if it is a one-to-one function, then it is will be invertible function. So let's see that the domain is A, B, C, and codomain value is 100, 200, and 300. If A indicates 200, B indicates 300, and C indicates 100. We can see that all the this is a domain, this is codomain. Here we can see that all the domain value gives different codomain value. So it is, we can put that it is a one-to-one function. Because it is one-to-one function, for the design we can make this inverse. The inverse of this function is x. Here's 100 indicates C, 200 indicates A, and 300 indicates B. It is the inverse of this function. We have another example. Now we have another function. F is equal to x square. This function is invertible or not? First we need to check if it is a one-to-one function or not. Let x be
let x equal to 1. What is f of 1 equal to 1? If x equal to minus 1, then 1. Here's the two different value. Here's the two different value. Give same value. There's two different value. For that reason, it's not an one-to-one function, not one-to-one function. For that reason, it's not an inverter. So this is my presentation.
হ্যালো
হ্যালো
ইয়া হোয়াটস
আচ্ছা কালকে রাতে তোমার কি হইছিল ফোন ধরলা নাকি তার আস্তে রাত ধরে আজকেও ফোন করছি সারা দিন ধরে তোমারে ফোন করলাম তুমি ফোন ধরো
লিসেন টু মি
কিটা মনে করছ আমি এটা বুঝি না তোমার এটা উফতা আমি আমার আর সহ্য আমার লাগে তুমি খবিসামি করো নানি
হ্যালো জান তুমি কোথায় গেছো এতক্ষণ থেকে হোল্ড করে বসে আছি
আই এম সরি
কোথায় যাচ্ছ কার সাথে কথা বলতেছো তুমি
আমি তো ফুয়াদ ভাইয়ের সাথে স্টুডিওতে যাচ্ছি
সুরর ফুরি
What the hell is
তোমার
going
জান
on?
মারানির করে জান মারানি
Conference
তোমার
call.
কলটা বাখড়ি দিমু
No.
আরে ইগো কিগো
Who are you?
ওপরটায় তুমি কালকে রাত আমার ফোন ধরছো না আজকে সারা দিন
Don't
ধরে ফোন
listen.
করছো না
I don't even know who she is.
কি হচ্ছে এসব আমি
বিসর
কিছু
বিসর
বুঝতে পারতেছি না।
Stupid conference. Who invented this technology?
কিগো তোর ফাকির কিগো তোর জান কলটা বাখড়ি দিমু
Listen,
বুঝছো
I love you.
দুই দুইটা গার্লফ্রেন্ড লইয়া পড়ছি আমি ফান্দে পরগুরে মায়া করলে মাইজ লাগবে খান্দে দুই দুইটা গার্লফ্রেন্ড লইয়া পড়ছি আমি ফান্দে পরগুরে মায়া করলে মাইজ লাগবে খান্দে
Gotta have a wife, gotta have a mistress. One to the one that I wanna sleep with. One give me good stress, one give me good. Love to be two best, gotta keep it moving. Big bad wolf with the huff and the puff.
সিলেটি বুড়িতে এখানগুলো খাস্তা দুনিয়ার পয়েন্টরে না চাইলাই হবিসের হবিস কুনানোর
জাত কোটি বাচ্চান
My presentation topic is homomorphic. Now we can solve the line solving block where f of x represents g of x equal to x to 2. Our answers from R to R. At first we simply solve the diagram of f of x and g of x. When we input a for g of x, we get g of x as input. Now we input g of a for f of x, we get f of g of a. The total is the diagram of the real number function. Now we can solve the question f of g of x. G of x value equal to x square plus 2. F of 2x square plus 2. Now f of x equal to 4x plus 3. We 4x equal to x square plus 2. X square plus 2 plus 3. Now 4x square plus 2 plus 3 16x square plus 8 plus 3 16x square plus 11. This value is the for. Now we can find the GOP. F of x value is 4x plus 3. 4x plus 3. G of x equals to x square plus 2. Now and 4x plus 3.
we then 2x square plus 2, this x equal 4x plus 3. Now 2 4x plus 3 get plus 2. Now 2 4 12 16x square plus 12x plus 24x plus 9 plus 2. Now 32x square plus 48x plus 18 plus 2. 32x square plus 48x plus 20. This is the cos value and this is the cos value. Now my presentation is closed. Thank you.
তুই ভুল করে একবার ভালোবেসে যা, মন নিয়ে আমি তো করি না খেলা। এই বোকার শহরে আমি একা জাদুকর এসেছি প্রেম চড়াতে। মনে এক রাশি প্রেম হাতে হারমোনিয়াম, দেব না বাঁশি হাতে হ্যামিলনে ছিলাম। এই বোকার শহরে আমি একা জাদুকর এসেছি প্রেম ছড়াতে। যদি আজকেই তুই না দিস দেখা এই মনের পাড়াতে, তবে তুই ছাড়া পুরো শহর আমার হবে। তুই ভুল করে একবার ভালোবেসে যা, মন নিয়ে আমি তো করি না খেলা। এই বোকার শহরে আমি একা জাদুকর।
Today I'll be doing a video presentation on functions. So let's begin. We have a question. Draw a graph of the function of fn equals to 1 minus n square from r to r. Here r shows the real numbers and this is our function that we have to draw. So let's begin. We have a graph paper here. Let this be the y-axis and let this be the x-axis and let this be the starting point. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have -1, -2, -3, and -4. We have 1 here on the y-axis, 2, 3, 4 respectively, and -1, -2, and -3. So you have the function fn equals to 1 minus n squared. So let's plug in the value and let's take 0 for a second. We have f0, which is 1 minus 0 squared, which equals to 1. And then we have f1, which equals to 1 minus 1 squared equals to 0. And let's take f equals to -1, which is -1 here. 1 minus -1 whole squared, which is 1 minus 1 equals to 0. So let's put these values in the graph. For 0, we get 1 here. And for 1, we get 0. And then for -1, we get 0 again. So let's take a few more values. Let's rub this up here. Let's take 2, -2, and 3. And let's put these values in. So for 2, we get 1 minus 2 squared, which is 1 minus 4, which is -3. And for -2, we get same, 1 minus -2 whole squared, which works out to -3. And for 3, we get 1 minus 3 squared, which is 1 minus 9, works out to about -8. So let's put these values in. For 2, we get -3. And for -2, we get -3. And for 3, we get -8, which we cannot include in the graph, so let's forget about that. So if we plot this graph, we get this line, which corresponds
to this answer. Now we'll begin question 2. So let's get this out of the way. Else, no one gave me the common. This one's our. So for question 2, we have, suppose that if f is an invertible function from y to z and g is an invertible function from x to y, show that the inverse of the composition of fog is given by fog minus 1 to g inverse of f inverse. This question asks to prove this part. For that, we're going to need some theories on functions at first. So let's begin with what's an invertible function. An invertible function is a function that can be inverted to give a valid inverse of itself. This means that when you give an input of a function, we get the output. An invertible function, when inverted, will give the input when we provide the output on it. So let's do this. We have x, which is an input, and we have fx, which is an output. So for fx, we have an input, which is given in the question, which is y. So let's put in y. And the output is z, which is z. And if we invert it, we're going to get something like this. The x and the fx of inverse. So here, the input will be z, which was once the output here, and we'll get y, which was once the input here. This should explain you the invertible function. So let's try to solve this now. So we have y to z and we have x to y. Since we have to find fog, the internal function is g. So let's begin with g. We have inputs, we have g of x, and we have f g x. So let's begin. For x, we have an input of x, and the output is y. And then when we have an input of y for function f g x, we get an output of z. So it goes something like this. Gx. And here we have the function of fx. And for the total function, we get fog. X goes to y and y goes to z. So if we invert it and find something like this, fog, O inverse, the input will be z from here, and we'll get the output x. But we have shown this left part to be true. Now let's show the right part, g inverse of x. So we get x, which is the input. We have g inverse x, and we have f inverse x. So let's do this. So from here we get the input z, since we're doing the inverted one, and we have output y, and then we get output x. So g inverse x is doing so here, and then we have f inverse x of x here. So if we put this in one equation, we'll get fog minus 1, which we showed to be true here. And then we have g inverse here and f inverse here. So if we get z to y and x, and from z to y to x and from here. So we get g inverse of f. So we have proved this one to be true. Now we move into the next question. Question 3. Give an example of a function from n to n that is 1 to 1 but not on to, 1 to but not 1 to 1, both on to but not 1 to 1, neither 1 to 1 nor on to. So 1 to 1 function is a function that takes one input and and gives one output. And onto one is a function that has all its outputs mapped to an input. Let's do this from 3a. It was a function which is one-to-one but not onto. So let we get x input and output fx. So we have say 1, 2, 3, and 4 as inputs, and we have outputs a, b, c, d, and e. Let's round this up. Say for 1 we get d, 2 we get b, 3 we get c, and 4 we get e. But a is an output which does not have any input. This means this is not an onto function but a one-to-one function. Let's get this out of the way. Now we'll be doing b. So onto but not one-to-one. So let's do this. We have x, we have fx. Say for this one, let's take as alphabets as inputs. A, B, and C. And we have outputs as numerics 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We can easily onto but not one-to-one. So I think we're running short on inputs. So let's increase the inputs. C, D, E, F. So for A we get 1, for B we get 2, for C we get 3, and for D we get 3, for E we get 4, and for F we get 5. If you look on the output column, you see that all the outputs have a specific input. But this is not a one-to-one because B, C, and D have the same outputs. Two independent inputs have the same output. You cannot have this on a one-to-one function. So this is an onto but not a one-to-one function. Let's do this. Let's keep fx and x here. What's easier? Now we need both onto and a one-to-one function for question C. So for x we say 1, 2, 3 inputs, and we have output A, B, and C. For 1 we get output A, for 2 we get output B, and for 3 we get output C. As you can see, all the outputs are mapped to an input, and all 3 inputs have 3 unique outputs. This is a one-to-one function, and this is both onto function. For neither one-to-one and an onto function, we can use some unique examples. Say 1, 2, 3, and 4. For A, B, C, D, and E. For 1 we get A, for 2 we get A, for 3 we get B, and for 4 we get B. As you can see, 3 outputs are unmapped. Only 2 outputs have been mapped. This cannot be an onto function. And for each individual input, we have 2 outputs. So this cannot be a one-to-one function as well. This means that we have shown for 3A and B, C the graphs. This concludes my presentation. Thank you so much.